Good evening to everybody. I am Haribabu, an advocate practicing at High Court for the state of Telangana at Hyderabad. I have studied Constitution intently and found that whatever is happening in India on the social, political and economic fronts is not in accordance with what is stated in the Constitution. Yesterday, we have discussed Article 17, 18 and 19. Today, I promised you to discuss the independence of judiciary. As regards that is concerned, the Ambedkar, who himself was a doyen of law and a barrister, has crafted a beautiful, unique independence to Indian judiciary. Indian judicial system is such that under Article 124, judges are appointed by the President of India. To remove the judiciary, Supreme Court and High Court judges, it needs majority resolution from both houses of the Parliament. Please understand, Parliament may be filled with one political party or its coalition, and the President of India may belong to some other political party. As such, there will not be concurrence between these two. If yet there is concurrence between these two and they are prepared to impeach a judge, it is better that such a judge should be impeached. If at least one chamber of the Parliament refuses, his impeachment is not possible. President may appoint during his term only few of the judges. He cannot appoint all the judges of the Supreme Court because they retire after the age of 65. Only few vacancies will arise during the tenure of a president. He has a right to appoint, but he cannot remove them. They need not oblige him. And the civil disputes resolved by the judiciary are very, very nominal compared to the dispensations made by the Parliament and the local assemblies. And as regards criminal cases, there is already Article 361 is there. President and governors cannot be summoned to courts. Civil and criminal cases cannot be foisted on them. In turn, they have the right to give pardon, waive or reduce punishments imposed by the honorable courts. This again is a misunderstanding prevalent in India. This power of pardon is given to the President of India is only to safeguard his own employees when they are punished by the judiciary. In exercising of their functions, the executive in public service, namely the government employees, will be executing so many functions, operations they carry on secretly. Some operations they conduct in violation of the existing law in the interest of the country. Even then, judiciary will find fault with and impose punishments. To safeguard such innocent and sincere officers, this power of pardon is given to President and the governors under Article 72 and 161. Unfortunately, this is being misused to grant pardons to hardcore criminals. As such, either for civil matters or criminal matters, the executive is not dependent upon the judiciary. Appointment, transfers, remuneration, and powers and limitations of the courts and procedures to be followed in courts are decided by the Parliament and the President under Article 124 to 145. But what happened The 11th Lok Sabha, which occurred after P.V. Narasimha Rao's tenure in 1996, that parliament survived only for 2 years, up to 98. And the 12th Lok Sabha survived only for 1 year. There was political uncertainty, political immorality, political conspiracies, and there were so many prime ministers changed during that period. During that period of weakness of Indian Parliament, Supreme Court advocates on record have filed a public interest litigation before the Honorable Supreme Court saying that it requires more and more independence. You see the parody. Advocates pleaded that the court should have independence. What would the court say? The court say, yes, this is a very good point you said. We need independence. So instead of being in the clutches of the parliament and the president, we appoint ourselves. And they have established a collegium in 1999. Please consider for a while, if judgments of the Honorable Supreme Court are independent after forming of the collegium in 1999, can we say that the judgments rendered from 1947 to 1999 were not delivered independently? Don't such judgments serve as precedents? We cannot say that. If we say that, the whole system will collapse. In 2013 or so, government has come to senses, parliament members, legislative has come to senses. They inserted our 99th constitutional amendment, whereby they have introduced Article 124A, B and C, and appointed Judicial Appointment Commission, who should look after the appointments of the judges. But in 2015, the Honorable Court struck down the 99th Amendment too. In a democracy, legislative, executive and judiciary should be separated. Their legislative exercise is discarded by judiciary. In fact, it is an insult to the parliament and to the president who has assented to the law made by the parliament. But unfortunately, parliament being the weakest in Indian history during 1996 to 1999, they were not bothered about Indian sovereignty or the legislative power. If you can remember, ex-Prime Minister Srimati Indira Gandhi was imprisoned by Allahabad High Court. Several chief ministers and ministers were imprisoned during the last 75 years by the judiciary. What more independence you want? Constitution has been explicit in keeping the judiciary under the control of the legislative. Judiciary is prohibited from interfering with the proceedings of the parliament and the assemblies under Article 122 and 212, whereas executive is given power to reverse the punishments inflicted by the judiciary. Under Article 361, executive is protected from judicial proceedings, whereas judiciary is appointed by the executive and removed by the combine of legislative and the executive. Entire judicial administration is entrusted to the legislative and the executive. The legislative and the executive together can impeach or remove a judge, but judges cannot remove any parliament member or any other legislative member. In delivering the judgment in Supreme Court advocates on record versus Union of India, in which they appointed collegium system, they have taken the support of Article 50. But please remember, Article 50 is part of directive principles of state policy. It does not have any legal force. It is only advisory to the government. It also advised the government to treat the judiciary separately from the executive in public service. It used the word separate. It did not use the word independence. In fact, judiciary has already got abundant independence, unique kind of independence, because they are appointed by none other than the President of India, and they are removed by none other than the President of India and the Parliament together. Such a great independence was given to Indian judiciary. As such, it is necessary that Indian institutions realize that the sovereignty of the country should be respected by all the departments of the Indian government. Thank you. Thank you for watching my video. I request you to please share and comment on my videos and subscribe my channel Social, Political, Constitutional, Legal. This endeavor is I am making to bring about a reform in Indian social, political, economic conditions. Thank you very much.